everybody. I'm Michelle Spaziano with Get to Know Metro, and today I've got a special treat for you. A VIP tour of the brand new Music City Center right here in the heart of downtown Nashville. Well, we're back and we're getting ready to get our VIP tour of the Music City Center in downtown Nashville. I'm standing with its director, Mr. Charles Starks, who's going to be giving us the grand tour. So welcome to Get to Know Metro.
Thanks, Michelle. Welcome. Glad to have you here this morning. Well, we're standing right now in one of our two really big lobby areas that lets a lot of folks come in and out of the building. We're right outside Fifth Avenue, directly across from the new Omni Hotel and the Country Music Hall of Fame expansion. And in this area, you're able to come in and folks can just go up the escalators, hit each level of the meeting rooms, up to the exhibit hall, and then ultimately up to our grand ballroom, our 57,500 foot ballroom that sits on top of the Music City Center.
Wow.
So as we're here today, it's kind of hard to imagine. A little over 3 years ago, we broke ground on this project in downtown Nashville. And now here we are, and we're inside the facility, and we're ready to go to work.
All right, so I guess we're ready to take the tour. I'm excited. You know, Charles, this wasn't the look I had for our VIP tour, the look I had in mind, but I understand safety is first.
Absolutely. Well, let me say for the viewers out there, they're glad I'm dressed like this because I'm not very pretty. So anyway, they're glad to have me in this time.
Well, I'll do the pretty part. I'm just kidding. Okay.
No, that's fine.
Let's do it. Wow, this is really spectacular. So these are the meeting rooms, Charles?
Yeah, this is, Michelle, this is one of our 4 meeting room concourses. The Music City Center, we have 60 meeting rooms throughout the facility, and so here's 10 right here. As you see, this kind of the concourse, you can go down, be able to go in and out of the meeting rooms, restrooms, etc., and through the facility. And we have a total of 60 meeting rooms throughout the building.
Well, that's quite a few meeting rooms. Charles, I hope this doesn't sound like a stupid question, but as the director, is your job to oversee everything, or tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, I'm in charge of things from the authorities' perspective, but what it really is the great team that we've assembled, and so my job is just kind of get a good team on board and get them to where they can do their job, what they do. We've got a very professional staff that we've brought and assembled together, along with a lot of the staff that we had at the current Nashville Convention Center. It's transitioning over. So yeah, I get to kind of be the lead cheerleader a little bit and try to get people as we bring customers into the building.
Well, if looking at the building is any indication of your job, you're doing a fine job.
Oh, well, thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, what's next?
We can walk right in here if you like and see one of our meeting rooms as we go into this area.
So we just entered one of the meeting rooms, and I thought it was a mirror, as you can see over here, but actually, Charles told me it was an air
wall.
Air wall. Explain air walls.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the things, this is one meeting room for us of our 60 right here, but one of the things you really want, Michelle, is a lot of flexibility in your meeting space. So we utilize these air walls like you see here, so this can actually open up and be 5 meeting rooms, can become one large meeting room, or it could also be 3 meeting rooms or 2 meeting rooms, or just individual meeting rooms as it's set right now. So this is part of the great flexibility we have with the Music City Center to be able to meet all of our customers' needs.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
So, yeah.
5 rooms. So there's 5 on that side and 5 on this side.
Yeah. And they have different configurations. Some will have a hard wall where there's only 2 together, and some will have 3, so different configurations throughout the building. So, yeah.
Well, so each room, you said there's meeting rooms, and it can open up to accommodate more people. Individually, how many people does the one room hold?
Well, we could do a couple of hundred people in this, in the theater set in this room. If all these air walls were opened up at one time into one large room, we could do about 1,000 people very comfortably for a theater set, or about 650 in a banquet setting. So depending on how much tables and chairs we're using in there. And then we have the ability, we have floor boxes in the room, and we have the any kind of power we need to bring in, internet, et cetera, that we can do throughout the meeting room. So you can really take any individual meeting room and make it whatever the customer's needs really are.
Accommodate their
Yeah,
needs.
yeah.
All right, well, great.
So-
I'd love to move on and see
Okay.
some more stuff.
Okay, absolutely.
We're standing in the Concourse exhibit hall, and I have to ask Charles about this breathtaking artwork
Okay.
that I just saw when we came into the hall. How
Yeah.
do you find the artists to do the
Yeah,
art exhibits?
Absolutely, Michelle. Well, we had an art committee comprised of some folks from the Convention Center Authority, along with a number of local citizens here in Nashville that were engaged with our art selection. We did 8 commissioned pieces for the building that are unique to the Music City Center. This would be one of the 8. And this one, as you can see, it's kind of life-size instruments and of different musical instruments done to almost be like when a kid would have a model car where you'd pop the pieces out of the little plastic pieces.
Right.
So in this one is hanging in a spectacular view right here that looks out to the Bridgestone Arena and how we can just transition from the center over to the arena. But let folks, as they traverse up and down this exhibit hall concourse, be able to see part of this art, and then certainly behind that you see the skyline of downtown Nashville. So just a really cool view that we have right here on the exhibit hall concourse.
And you had mentioned you actually have a whole art committee that got the artists to do the artwork for the convention center.
Absolutely, yeah. The eight commissioned
Breathtaking.
pieces that they did that are unique to us, and then over 80 acquired pieces of art that were bought predominantly from local artists in the Middle Tennessee area that are installed throughout the facility. And then this concourse runs 1,100 feet and is what leads into our 353,000 foot exhibit hall. And so lots of attendees of conventions, this is where they will be moving back and forth each day when they're in the building. So yeah, really primo location right here, if you will, for a great piece of artwork.
So now
Yes.
you're going to take us into the
And
actual
now,
hall.
Yeah, now let's
Okay.
go in and see the exhibit hall.
Okay, great. Right now we're standing in one of the exhibit halls, and Charles, you said there's 5 total
There's
exhibit?
four.
Oh, four?
Four total exhibit halls. One of them, though, Michelle, that can subdivide into 2 sections, so it can give us flexibility to have 5 as we
okay,
break down. Yeah, so this is one of the 4 halls that's open in total. So this is 87,000 square feet. And the air walls, like that we saw with the meeting rooms, if these were opened up, you could open up the entire 8 acres of exhibit hall, our 353,000 square feet that we have. And so this is where, as a conference comes in or a trade show, this is where the actual exhibits would take place. A lot of the business of the show would take place in here. And behind us, we have 32 truck docks so that we're able to bring freight in and out of this exhibit hall very, very quickly and be able to move a show in and move it out.
So if a show's large, you can open up the air walls and make it a huge, huge section.
Right.
And if it's a smaller show, you can just use, like
Close.
right now we're only in a quarter.
Only in a
We're
quarter
only
of
in
it right now, exactly. So we can close it off with the
Did you
shows.
say 8 acres?
8 acres
8
of just
acres?
exhibit hall.
Oh my
the
goodness.
total site of the Music City Center is 16 acres in total of the campus. But the exhibit hall by itself is 8 acres.
I think I read that.
So-
Was it 1.2 million square
We have,
feet?
yeah, we have 1.2 million square feet of space inside the building. That doesn't include our parking garage, as we also have an 1,800 space parking garage. It's a little over 900,000 square feet. So about 2.1 million total gross square feet in the building.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm in another world. I feel like I'm in Disneyland
Brand,
in
so,
Nashville.
yeah.
It's
Well,
quite breathtaking. It really
Well, it is. Well, thank you. And one of the beauties of our halls is because the exhibit hall is elevated, it's level with 8th Avenue, but it allows us to put in some light from outside. So one of the things you don't normally see in an exhibit hall is lighting coming in from the exterior. So we're able to illuminate this hall some just natural daylight along with the lighting that's in the facility. So quite breathtaking
Very.
as exhibit halls go. So.
Well, great. Moving on. Well, Well, now I'm really getting excited because we're standing in one of the biggest, largest grand ballrooms, not only here in Nashville, but I think you said in the country.
Yes.
57,000.
1,500 square feet, yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Now that people would have weddings in here and stuff?
Oh,
or?
we can do all kinds of events in here, Michelle.
Okay.
I mean, we can do a wedding, we can do banquets. We can accommodate about 4,200 people for a banquet, for a seated banquet in here. If we were doing a general session, say that we had a conference in that needed to have about 6,700 people in a theater setting, we could do that in this ballroom, as well as we have a built-in stage that's kind of behind us. Oh. That wall opens up, the wooden wall opens up, and we have a built-in performance stage there. And then we can subdivide this ballroom into 5 different configurations, so we can make it feel not as big, or make it whatever size the group may be.
So you can hold concerts in here too?
Oh, we absolutely can hold concerts. A number of the shows that we will bring in, associations, I mean, they will use headliner entertainment that they will do for maybe their final night gala or whatever the event may be. So yes, we're absolutely prepared for concert type activity, for the shows that's going on, weddings.
What about like boat shows or bigger, you know?
That would all be in the exhibit hall that we just left. Okay. Yeah, as we came up from the exhibit hall here to the grand ballroom, we do those kind of events in the exhibit hall. But if the boat show we're having an awards program or something, we might do that here in the grand ballroom.
What other kind of events would book the ballrooms?
Well, the ballroom's kind of an integral part of usually booking the entire program. So they're looking for a place to do their general sessions or for banquets or for large breakout rooms. I mean, we've got groups booked out now through 2026.
Well, that was my next
question. So yeah, we're going to be out for some time, groups coming in. So when they're looking at space, it's really how the whole space flows for them. Right. But in this ballroom, and we can break this down and could do just a luncheon for some group here in Nashville for 1,000 people or something if we chose. I mean, you know, one of the things we've got a lot of flexibility with here is for people to think about us from a social catering standpoint. That really, if someone has a luncheon for 10 people and they're looking for a place, they should contact us. I mean, we've got lots of rooms of different shapes and sizes. So we can do 10 up to probably, 4,200 in this ballroom very easily.
And you did mention, because I asked this earlier, are your rates competitive?
Oh yeah, we're very competitive. I mean, as you look at us across the Nashville market, we're very competitive pricing.
Well, I had to ask that because just looking at this spectacular building, and especially the grand ballroom, you would think you would need a big budget, but according to you, you're very competitively
very competitive priced. Yeah. And I think the beauty of this ballroom, when people really get in to see it, Michelle, is going to be the design here was for the architect thought through. If you were to take a guitar, lay it flat, and cut it in half, and you were sitting inside of a guitar or a musical instrument, what would it look like? And that's where you see the wood on the ceiling, the way the wood moves, the wood along the walls. So it's to give you that kind of feel. I mean, it's a big space, but it doesn't feel quite so big. It's very acoustically balanced, so I mean that it sounds great in here, and so it's just a really, really cool space. It sits on top of the Music City Center, so the views, as we'll see in a few moments, we go outside in the pre-function area, the views of downtown are just magnificent. I mean, that you can look throughout this space. So it's really something all Nashvillians need to get down and come take a look, and hopefully they'll book something with us when they do that. So.
Right. Now people can just come just to visit and walk around and look around?
Well, most of the time not. Oh. Most of the time the show has the building, they have the rights to it, so it'll be a private event going on. We're certainly going to do with some of our events, things like you said, the boat show earlier, the auto show are certainly open to the public. So there'll be many, many opportunities for the public to be inside the building. Oh, okay. We just booked our first high school prom for next year. So we'll be doing a high school prom in here for one of the metro schools. So any of those type of activities, the public will be in and out of the building a lot.
Please tell us about, you told me this earlier, about the rug downstairs when we were looking down the, we're on the top part, and we looked down the rug, and you said your interior designer
part of what our interior designer looked at throughout the building is how do you really tie the Music City theme into the facility? And we've talked a lot about being Music City Center, and we're Music City. And so as she was looking, she looked at a sound wave and created that wave into the carpet.
The rug.
So as you look at carpet, you said there's another set of carpets we have that looks like an equalizer bar going across. So really trying to play the music theme. While it's subtle in some places, it's more pronounced, as we saw with the artwork downstairs in the exhibit hall level. But in a lot of cases, it's very subtle. But the sound waves are really cool, and it's such a big piece of carpet. You can see that very well. So
Now, all this information that you're telling me, especially, I think is very interesting, is this being the inside of a guitar, because I would have never imagined, you know, that until you said it, and it's true. Yeah. How would people find that out if they, you know, is there like a
certainly our website, NashvilleMusicCityCenter.com. Will be one area to get for floor plans and all the activities there, and it's going to talk an awful lot about the building and the different features we have. And we really are trying to make this some very unique spaces in downtown Nashville, so that when customers come and see us, they feel like, you know what, this really is a unique building. And I think we've achieved that.
I think you have too. Yeah. It's spectacular.
Thank you.
Just led into this area, and as I looked over Charles' shoulder, I said, is that grass out there, or is that the roof? And he said, yes. So will you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have on top of the roof system of the Music City Center, we have a 4-acre green roof. That's a sedum plant that only grows about a couple of inches a year, and we collect all the rainwater off of the roof, and we have 16 acres of roof total here at the center, and put into a 360,000 gallon rainwater tank. Then we use that rainwater to irrigate the roof, sedum plants, and also all the landscaping around the facility. And then we also utilize that rainwater to flush toilets and urinals with.
Oh my goodness.
And then in addition, on top of the roof, what's above us right now, because we're in the pre-function area of the grand ballroom, is we have a 200 kW solar panel system on top of the grand ballroom. So all part of our sustainable efforts here at the Music City Center, which includes our lighting and how we heat and cool the building. But the green roof's a really cool part. And then this is the area where our customers will be able to look out and see it. Unfortunately, you can't go out on the roof, but you'll at least be able to see it from there, right here in the grand ballroom pre-function.
So there'll be no golfing or putting up there?
No golfing or putting up on the roof, yeah.
But you guys are very green, so to speak, or it seems like...
well, absolutely. I mean, I think in our business, it's very important to us. The building will be Silver LEED certified once we get open. And things like the rainwater tank, the lighting, the LED lighting we're using throughout the building, the type of materials that were used, even in the carpeting, is all very sustainable and all very green, as you say. And so that's very important to our customers, but it's also very important to us that we're good keepers of the environment here in Nashville.
Absolutely.
And so we certainly have taken all these and tried to incorporate them in the facility wherever we absolutely could.
Now, I was reading a fact sheet on the website, and I understand there is an amazing amount of light fixtures throughout the whole building.
Yeah.
So that's going to be quite the electric bill. But tell us how many light fixtures. You said LED lighting too?
Well, we've got a whole host of lighting between kind of fluorescents and LEDs throughout the building. I mean, we have thousands of fixtures in the entire facility, things we can dim and bring up full light levels and decrease as we need to. But you know, one of the things when you look at from a sustainable type practice is lighting and cooling are two of the areas where you really spend in these, you know, as we talked earlier about the size of this building, you spend an awful lot in utilities, and from an environmental standpoint, we want to lessen our impact as much as possible.
Right.
So certainly the most energy efficient, long-lasting fixtures that we can get in place is what we try to do. And we also want to be aesthetically pleasing. You know, we want them to look, look really good. So not much like the ones you saw as we came up over here.
I did notice those and how beautiful and different they were. Now, you had an art committee to do some of the art, to do the art and hire the artists. Did you also have like maybe a lighting committee?
Well, we had lighting consultants,
consultants
that worked with our interior designer, so that they picked out fixtures that went with the whole color scheme and palette of the building. Yeah, absolutely.
They really are quite different, and they really stand out.
Yeah,
I didn't know if I thought it was artwork at first. He's like, no, those are lighting
Those
fixtures.
are light fixtures, absolutely.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Charles, I know you're running out of time. I don't know if you have any time to show us anything else, but this has been amazing. You should be so proud of this building and everything that you and your team have accomplished.
Well, thank you very much. We're very proud of the building, but I think the citizens of Nashville should also be very, very proud of this building. It's certainly going to put us in a different league, if you will, for convention industry business in the country. And so I think in many years to come, we're going to look at this building as, while it looks like a piece of artwork from outside, it's very functional inside. And the amount of groups we're going to bring into Nashville is certainly going to fulfill its mission and what we promised it would do.
Well, there you have it. Charles, the director, thank you so much for the VIP tour.
Thank you very much.
And being on our third episode of Get to Know Metro. I must say, I've never been excited over a building before, but the Music City Center is quite spectacular, and I hope to see you all here very soon. My name's Michelle Spaziano with Get to Know Metro. Please catch us here every Saturday night at 7 p.m. only on Metro 3.